In this video, we're going to be painting some Ork Storm Boyz for Space Marine Epic. Welcome back to another painting video, where today we are looking at these old 6mm Epic Orks, where my first job was to stick them on a painting handle and spray them grey, giving them a nice base coat to start the painting. These Storm Boyz are going to be wearing some form of metal armour, so I'm going to start with a black base coat. Not trying to be particularly neat, but trying to keep away from the flesh areas. When painting 6mm miniatures in an assembly line, I'll do the fronts first, then I'll come to the backs. Next up, I'm going to be using a metal colour steel, and I'm going to come in and do all the armour areas. Again, working on the fronts first, and then coming to the backs. Using a Warboss green, I'm going to base coat all the flesh areas on the orcs. One of the orcs is slightly different, and he is going to be the unit leader, and he has a backpack which I am painting red. So with all the base coats done, I'm going to come in with an Agrax Earthshade to give the model a little wash. This will help to define some of the features on these tiny little models, and at the same time just give a little bit of grimy feel to the armour. And as with previous steps, I start with all the fronts of the models and then I come and do the backs. And it's everyone's favourite time, it's highlighting time. And yes, I can hear you say, these are too small to have highlights, but it is worth doing. Just popping out a couple of areas on the miniature with highlights can really make the difference to these little guys. So using Model Air Steel, I am just picking out certain areas of the armour. Starting with the front and again carrying on to the backs. Our one little unique orc is going to have a little special treatment. His clothes are sort of a grey colour, so I'm just going to highlight that with a stone wool grey. And then I'll highlight his backpack with a brighter red. Scarsnick green is used to do the highlights to the flesh areas. And with that, the miniatures are done, so it's time to do the bases. So I'm getting out the Warboss green again, and I'm just going to paint over the base to get nice green colour. And using the plastic glue, I carefully place the miniatures within the holes provided. And once they've left to dry for a little while, it's then time to put some basing material onto the base. And there you go, you have a finished Epic Space Marine unit. I always enjoy painting Epic Space Marine, the miniatures are so much fun. They're tiny, yes, and that can put a lot of people off, but you can really bash out a lot of units very quickly and get an army on the table. If you haven't tried Epic Space Marine before, I implore you to do so. It's such a great game, and it was one of my first games that got me into the hobby. And with that, that brings us to the end of the video. If you stayed all the way to the end, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. And with that, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.